to witness the best submission-only event in combat sports. It's the one, the only, the Eddie Bravo Invitational. Kicking off our tournament is the three-time EBI champion and 2017 ADCC king, Gordon Ryan, representing Brunswick BJJ. Tonight, he looks to capture his second EBI Absolute title. Standing in his way is Abu Dhabi Pro Trials double gold champion Dan Borovic, representing 360 BJJ. This is EBI 14, the Absolutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome first to the mat. He is the reigning, defending Absolute champion, representing Brunswick BJJ. It is the King, Gordon Ryan. And his opponent, representing 360 BJJ, the Team Braza product, it is Dan Borovic. Live from the Onnit Academy in Austin, Texas. It is the Eddie Bravo Invitational 14, the Absolutes, TJ DeSantis, along with Eric Cruz, Scott Ross. And there he is, the champion, the King, Gordon Ryan, having a stellar 2017. Already captured his third EBI title back in March. Now looking to defend his Absolute crown here against Dan Borovic.
Starting off with a bit of hand fighting here.
The confidence must be incredibly high for the King, Gordon Ryan. And you're coming off that ADCC gold and just becoming as successful as Gary Tonin, a legend of EBI. He just furthers the status and reputation of that Danaher Death Squad. Yeah, they've been doing a great job.
Gordon was a total unknown in his first appearance, but now he's the man.
Yeah, at 20 years old, the Iron Dragon has truly morphed into the King. Now morphed into a single leg, like I said.
Look for a trip here, possibly.
Nice balancing act so far by Dan.
It's got the leg nice and high, so yeah, there's the trip. Yeah.
Look at Gordon, the patience there. He knew he had that leg controlled and really just bided his time, didn't get too aggressive, and now settling on top here of Dan Borovic.
Isolated the leg.
I've got some leg lacing going on here.
When we talk about the success of Gordon Ryan, just 22 years old, taking on Daniel O'Brien, who's been training for 14 years. It's funny, a guy who's nearly, training as long as Gordon Ryan's been alive is the underdog in a lot of ways. Now he needs to defend that leg. Credit to Borovic, didn't look like he was panicking at all in that situation.
Yeah, wasn't quite in danger yet. There wasn't any immobilization of his right knee yet. It was just the leg was a bit extended, so it looked scary. But he's still okay here as long as he can keep his knee line free.
It's really close to being isolated. He's pull him in just a couple inches more.
Yeah, he's
to be able to control that knee.
Borovic primarily defensive here, not trying to launch a leg attack of his own by any means.
Well, when you throw a counterattack, sometimes that distracts your attention and you miss your defensive opportunities. And it's smart to play defensively against somebody as clearly as adept as Gordon Ryan is with legs.
What do you think Gordon Ryan's feeling right now, Scott? Because again, he is the man, he is the King. Literally, that is his name, and a name that he's lived up to thus far, but still just 22 years old. That's a lot of pressure for a young kid.
I don't think so. I think he's competed so much that a lot of the competition pressure has dissipated for him over the years. He's very comfortable competing and on a big stage because of the amount of reps he's put in with just dealing with competition. You want some nerves that helps keep you sharp. But he's a lot more relaxed, and that allows you to react more fluidly than you would otherwise.
Interesting little action there. He had Borovic looking for the Berimbolo as a counter to some of Gordon's leg attacks, which is actually what Felipe Pena used at the last ADCC at the end of the Absolute bracket there. So people are starting to learn when you compete, the footage is out there, and people can start to kind of game plan against them, and I think that was something that Dan was looking for.
You guys mentioned the stage. We are actually absent our big stage that we're usually on in the the Orpheum inside the Onnit Academy tonight. The spectators are literally on top of our competitors tonight. A very intimate feel for both competitor and spectator.
It's interesting the way Gordon's keeping his shin tucked inside Dan's left knee while he's standing there, so that there's no slack. It makes it harder for Dan to maneuver around it for leg pummeling.
Now we see Ryan going for a toe hold. Borovic trying to spin through. Looks like he's able to free it. Now switching to a heel hook is Ryan.
Oh, he's back in. He keeps getting some.
He's got an ankle lock now. Keep your hand there. Let it go.
Dan's doing a great job of clearing the knee line just enough.
Ryan 12-0 in his EBI run. All of his matches have ended via submission. Now he's had 2 matches go to overtime, but those overtimes were ended by submissions as well. So pretty much perfect on the mat is Gordon Ryan. And you know, I think Borovic kind of biding his time, trying to take this match to deeper waters. It's a smart move by him.
There's some deep isolation happening with the leg now.
Heavy, heavy, heavy. Drop the right knee down.
Coming up on the halfway point here of regulation.
Heavy on that right knee.
He's got his hand in there to try to prevent him, but Gordon's got the heel.
Deep. He's deep on that heel now. Dan's not in a great position to defend. He was a lot better on top when he could sprawl and had some head and arm pressure to try to force that leg out. But right now he's in a pretty bad spot.
It's hard for him to move anywhere else. If he does still have control of that hand, of that foot, he's got to dedicate his hand to that one spot. No, now he's using his foot to try to prevent the pressure from getting too great.
He's able to fight through it. Good job.
Nice, really good survival skills.
Fans appreciating that bit of action. Looking at the face of Dan Borovic, he never really panicked, even though it looked like he was in a precarious situation.
Yeah, and he was trying to go for that smash pass for a second. Gordon pushed him off, and he just broke off, which is probably the smartest thing to do right there. Is just disengage and get into a new groove.
You think about it, Borovic maybe gets the unlucky draw having to take on Gordon Ryan, but I think all 15 guys in this tournament expected having to go in there with Gordon at some point if they want to win this thing. And I wonder what the tactics were in the gym getting ready for these guys, preparing specifically for Gordon Ryan.
There's an advancement, full guard. He missed that sweep, that hip in sweep. Now he's trying to work towards the De La Hiva. Gordon sits down to shut that off.
We talk at the top of the show a lot about tactics and veteranship and being familiar with this format. One change, though, even for Gordon Ryan, will be the fact that if this goes to overtime here in the first round of this tournament, we only have 1 overtime period. So you really got to make it count. And if you were ever going to, use tactics to get past the king, Gordon Ryan, the opportunity for Borovic could be in overtime.
No, absolutely. That's kind of like putting it all in that one position, which that may be the best bet.
But right now, Borovic needs to worry about Ryan, who tried to pass the guard, ended up in half, and now.
Nice. Great recovery by Dan, fighting off in half guard, doing a good reset.
But Gordon's been basically keeping some weight on Dan the entire match, and like over time, 10 minutes may not be enough though. But definitely over time, there is a fatigue factor just from carrying a heavier man's weight.
Yeah, and it may go into Gordon's favor if he's dominating the whole time. They might skip the coin toss and just give him the superior position. So there's always an advantage to being the guy on top and the guy pushing the action here at EBI.
That's something that those tactics, I think, have been on display from the Danaher Death Squad in the past as well. If you go back to Gary Tonon's performance when he took the light heavyweight title home, when he defeated Vinny Magalhaes, the way that he took care of Vinny in overtime, I think, was sort of a sign to how comfortable Gary was with that format. And Gordon Ryan, these guys train everything, technique, but also strategy.
Just deep on the outside heel hook again, but Dan's hand fighting, making sure he can't get a clear rotation with the gripped hands, breaks the grip apart. Corner's on it pretty deep.
Really cranking it now is Ryan. Borovic still staying calm and cool. 90 seconds left. There it is! Nicely done by the champ. Gets a submission in regulation. Banks potential $5,000 for himself. Gordon Ryan doing what he does best, and that's finishing fights here inside the Eddie Bravo Invitational. All right, we will make it official. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 8 minutes 30 seconds into regulation by heel hook. The King, Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan getting it done in the same fashion he's finished all of his fights in here, with a submission, whether it be in regulation or overtime. He had to work for it. Took 8.5 minutes to get it done, but walk us through the end.
Yeah, that double ashi there, has been working on it a couple times. Had some good mileage in it earlier in the match, but this time found the right angle, fully committed to the grip on that foot, and Dan just had to tap before he felt his knee might rip apart there. So a lot of pressure. You can see the tendon stretched out at the outside knee there of Dan Borovic.
When you play with these Danaher guys, you really are playing with fire, and even if you don't get burned right away, it seems like the fire gets hotter the further the competition goes. And Gordon Ryan getting it done. Moving on to the quarterfinals, the King in position to further his legacy here at the Eddie Bravo Invitational.
The second-degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Daniel O'Brien returns to EBI as he faces 10th Planet qualifier winner Patrick Donabedian. This is EBI 14.
Next on the mat, representing Triad Martial Arts Academy, here is Daniel O'Brien. And welcome his opponent, representing 10th Planet HQ, the 10PQ winner, Patrick Donabedian.
Ready? Let's go. You too.
Daniel O'Brien, Patrick Donabedian. You mentioned Donabedian, the 10th Planet qualifier winner. He's had to win matches just to get in this position. You know he wants to make good on this opportunity.
Yeah, had 4 hard matches over at 10th Planet HQ to win the qualifier and earn his spot. So he's game ready. He's very well versed in the rule sets, and looking to get a run at Gordon Ryan next if he can make it past Daniel.
It is an absolute tournament, open weight here. Both these guys actually came in though on point, 195.8 for both of them. So no weight difference here.
You know, Patrick's been working a lot on his wrestling. Just in general, like it's an area of his game he's been working on a lot. So hopefully he'll figure out this spot right here. Daniel's a master of using his body weight, and that's what he's doing right now. He's sprawled out. He's letting Patrick carry as much of his weight as he can, and yep, until he gets him folded over. Does he already have a guillotine in there?
Looks like he has a head and arm. Yep, he's got a anaconda choke.
Punched down on it.
But he let it go.
Yes.
Nicely done there by Donabedian. You know, getting to this point, he's been through so much. You mentioned winning the fights.
Oh, wow.
Now in non-submission.
Inside leg control. Yep, he's got the roll position. Looking for a sweep while the heel hook is in play.
He had to drop the heel, but he's trying to collect it. Yep. He's still got something there.
Yep, Daniel's having a good job of trying to free his knee.
Ryan thought about tapping. It looked like he faded the motion, but he didn't make it clear he wanted out.
I think he was ready to tap, but then he escaped. That happens sometimes.
Donabedian now looking to bring the other leg into the mix.
Oh, it goes to double outside ashi.
There he is.
Daniel's got something trapped too, I think.
Patrick seems to have the better position here.
Yeah, because he's got control of Daniel's knee.
Yeah.
Double pressure on the bunion, Patrick. Double pressure on the bunion. Good.
Daniel's trying to keep some weight to keep some pressure on Patrick's leg, but yeah, I agree. Daniel's really in a better spot.
Patrick, I mean.
I mean, Patrick is. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, he's got Daniel's leg pinched between his legs and the knees. He's got some good real estate on that knee there. A little bit of the thigh between the legs too.
You're losing his boot and stacking the elbow. There you go. You got it.
3 minutes into this one. The pace is slow, but it was a fast and furious opening few moments with both guys getting on some submissions. But
both of them are.
The chess game is, I think, playing out right now.
Yeah, both of them are in a position where, with a slight adjustment, they might have their opponent. Patrick's trying to increase the weight he has on the toes there.
O'Brien trying to push him off.
He needs to drop his lat a little bit more onto the toes and then just push his arm straight out. And he is trying to turn his shoulder in on those toes a little bit better. Patrick keeps disrupting. Daniel kept disrupting Patrick's grip with his foot. He's got to be careful there. I think Daniel's getting clear. Got the knee line very close.
And there it is! Huge win for Patrick Donabedian. Stuck with it, maintained the aggressive posture, and finally gets the tap. Unbelievable. Patrick Donabedian.
That's cool. So happy for Patrick.
Yeah. The 10th Planet qualifier winner gets that all-important first win here at EBI 14. Let's make it official. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Let's hear it for Patrick Donabedian. Big win for Patrick Donabedian. He will move on to take on Gordon Ryan in the quarterfinals. Really high-level jiu-jitsu here. Scott, walk us through the end of this match.
All right, so Patrick pulls the leg in, and he's got a good grip above the knee line. And then he just turns belly down with it, and he's twisting in on that heel. When the twist happens, he throws his hips forward, which puts extra pressure on the knee, and there it goes.
O'Brien in some pain. And obviously in the submission and after the submission. Don't like to see him grimace like that, but I mean, there's an effective submission.
See, when the hips go forward, that's when it pushes it past its breaking point.
The 10 PQ winner, Patrick Donabedian, moving on to the quarterfinals here at the Eddie Bravo Invitational 14. Tonight, it's all about the absolutes.
WEC veteran Karan Darabedian puts the highest in grappling system to the test against the three-time no-gi world champion Casey Hellenberg, representing Saulo Ribeiro's University of Jiu-Jitsu.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the mat representing Team Hayastan, the WEC veteran Karan Darabedian. And his opponent representing University of Jiu-Jitsu, it is Casey Hellenberg. It is the 30-year-old Karan Darabedian taking on the 31-year-old Casey Hellenberg. Darabedian in some trouble immediately here. Able to survive, weathers that initial storm.
Able to peek out the back door, luckily for him. That would have been a really bad start.
Darabedian was part of EBI 3. He makes his return here tonight. 1-1 in the tournament format. He would love to make a name for himself here tonight in the absolute division.
Yeah, not a bad idea to play top game against the larger opponent here in Jesse.
And Darabedian weighed in at 198.4. And Casey Hellenberg weighed in at 246.2.
Casey's got a strong overhook now. Switches to a Kimura.
Butterflies here for Hellenberg. course, you can get at us on Twitter tonight at TJ DeSantis, at Compella1, Instagram as well.
Just trying to pull that arm in for a Kimura attempt, maybe a hip bump sweep off of it. Well, not hip bump, but a butterfly sweep by pulling that arm in.
Darabedian now in the half guard. See Hellenberg going at 2-on-1 grip on that right arm.
Trying to set up an arm drag, although he's lost that. But he keeps going for that. I think that's a big part of his strategy, trying to clinch in close.
When we talk about the size differences here, I mean, Scott, obviously weight plays a factor in grappling, but when the bigger man is on bottom, is that weird for the smaller man who has top position involved? Does it feel different?
Well, it feels better than having the big guy on top, and
right.
That's for sure. But at the same time, the angles of everything are different. The bigger guy has larger hips, larger thighs, so the angles for clearance are different. But definitely the smaller guy prefers to be on top. You got to move around the muscle, and if the muscle's on top, you ain't moving.
Looks like Hellenberg's trying to get a sweep here.
He's almost. Oh,
nice adjustment there by Darabedian.
Yep.
Darabedian in on the neck.
Yep, got a head and arm guillotine, hooking the legs. Casey just rolled out of that. That's a hard one to get on a big boy like that. Get the neck and the shoulders all in there.
Yeah, sometimes you
tough.
just can't close your grip around somebody if they're really big.
Yeah.
See Darabedian tonight competing at nearly 200 pounds. This is a guy that actually beat Tony Ferguson in mixed martial arts, normally competing much smaller than he is here tonight, but truly a warrior inside combat sports with or without strikes. EBI 14, the absolutes, using every inch of the mat here inside the Onnit Academy, Austin, Texas.
Take it to the middle.
Away from the familiar stomping grounds of the Orpheum. We almost went away from the familiar stomping grounds of the mat right there.
Ooh. Karin taking a little mental break there.
A little knee brace adjustment could cost you a double leg for the crowd.
Yeah, that could be an interesting development tonight with the more intimate setting and the bigger guys, bigger bodies crashing into the crowd.
EBI 14 hits the road tonight again, Austin, Texas, and we can come to your neighborhood. You got a spot you want to bring the Eddie Bravo Invitational to your neck of the woods, reach out to Eddie Bravo. You can do so on Instagram, Eddie Bravo 10. Some business, always opportunities for EBI to come to wherever you are and further the movement, the submission-only movement.
You know, Eddie and Victor are doing a great job of policing the spacing for the competitors to keep everybody safe. This is the first time they're both actually very active tonight because of the space requirements we have.
Yeah. Usually it's one ref per match, but with the absolutes, there's a lot of body mass to consider here.
Pro wrestling sometimes has to quote unquote reinforce the ring. We got to use two referees.
Eventually we'll have the steel cage EBI finals.
Sweet.
Chairs optional.
Halfway point of regulation.
You only get paid half if you use the chairs.
Whoa, nice.
Didn't work out quite as well as he wanted to, but still, the effort was admirable. He almost landed it.
Hellenberg now on top in almost a clean side, it looks.
Wow.
Now trying to work that left arm of Darabedian.
Yep. Getting some isolation going there. Kimura or Americana, whatever direction Karin's arm is facing. Casey's looking to.
Yeah, Karin's doing a good job of trying to keep that shoulder down, not allowing the space, but he's losing that battle.
Knee lockup coming. Knee on belly. Darabedian needs to move. Looks like he's out of danger for now. But
yeah, he turned into it.
Yep,
That's
good
a smart
job
thing to
defending.
do.
Yeah. Oh, looks out underneath. Casey's got that weight on him. Twister side to full mount.
It's a lot of weight.
This is a grueling process here now for Karin. He really needs to, the faster he can get out of this position, the less he'll have his endurance drained by all this weight he has to carry.
You can just,
Looks
with
like
that gift wrap, he can just drop his weight into it and just.
It almost seems like Karin's pointing his elbow on purpose so he doesn't drive his chin in, like he's kind of shoving the elbow in his throat.
Almost? Absolutely.
Well, you know, we're keeping it clean.
It is clean. I do that.
Yeah, we're keeping it clean.
Oh, he's trying to roll with it.
He's got some good.
Get a little space, but he's
thinking about tapping.
He's thinking about tapping.
Armbar now upcoming here for Hellenberg.
Karin's in a great spot to defend, though.
Yeah, he's trying to keep some weight on it.
Yep. Without a deep hook, and he's got a moment to pull out now. He has to just, it's a risk. You got to go through the fire.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, nicely done. Karin Garabedian out of danger. A little over 2.5 minutes left to work here in regulation.
Once Casey was just on the hands, it's a pretty low percentage armbar at that point without the deep hook on the arm, because there's only so much real estate you can have once you start cranking with the hips.
It was turning good for a second, but he pulled it off.
Yeah, it could have an injured left leg already. So if Casey keeps continuing to target that, yeah.
Able to stay out of danger for now, but now Hellenberg readjusting. On the edge of the mat here.
2 minutes left, basically.
Break time.
Going to get a readjustment here back in the center of the mat. Garabedian choosing to take care of that leg brace before the readjustment.
Go. It keeps going.
Hellenberg has primarily attacked the arms here of Garabedian. He did work the legs a moment ago, but you see his aggressive nature when he's on top and even when he's on bottom is to attack the arms of Garabedian.
Seems to be, he was setting up an arm triangle for a second.
You know, it's a standard tactic in jiu-jitsu to pick a body part and just keep attacking it because you're wearing it down with every attack. And that's what he's doing. Whether it be a leg or an arm, you just keep attacking that same arm, and it gets weaker and weaker throughout the match.
Tenderize it a bit.
Yeah, sometimes you got to cook them.
Be a slow cook, right?
It's like that barbecue in Austin, Texas.
That's right.
That's right, tender.
Nice setting up that triangle. Yeah, he's locked up.
Got the arm.
40 seconds though, Garabedian. That's a wrap. Casey Hellenberg looks for 9 minutes plus, but ultimately gets a submission. Credit to Karin Garabedian. He was very game, but the end comes in regulation for Casey Hellenberg. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by triangle armbar at 9 minutes and 18 seconds into regulation. It is Casey Hellenberg. Hellenberg getting it done in regulation, banking that all-important potential money should he get it done, and he slow-cooked it for the sub, Scott Ross.
Absolutely. He kept working those arms, got the gift wrap to set up the triangle, and then used the triangle to take the arm bar. And once he got there, dropped that hip in, and that was it. Great work.
Casey Hellenberg getting it done, moving on to the quarterfinals here in Austin.
I like the way he kept control of the arm as he set up the triangle so that didn't have to waste any effort chasing it after it was on.
The Onnit Invitational 5 champion Adam Big Red Sacknoff returns to EBI, representing 10th Planet San Mateo. Standing in his way of EBI gold is the ADCC veteran Jesse Ray Childrey, representing Nice Guy Submission Fighting. On the way, it's Sacknoff versus Childrey. This is EBI 14. Up next. next on the mat, welcome the EBI veteran representing 10th Planet San Mateo. It is Adam Big Red Sakhnov. And his opponent representing Nice Guy Submission Fighting, Jesse Ray Childrey. Adam Sakhnov, Jesse Ray Childrey. It is the absolutes, and you can definitely see this. This is a heavyweight affair. Adam Sakhnov weighed in at 233.4, Childrey at 310.4.
Went right to his butt right away. Butterfly, open butterfly guard looking to get under Childrey there. I'm sure that's a pretty good strategy. Childrey seems to carry a lot of topside weight.
Sakhnov said he wanted to make a statement in this tournament, said he wanted to become a star as a heavyweight submission-only grappler, and gets an opportunity here tonight.
Yeah, he's got an amazing full guard, really good rubber guard game, especially for a big guy, unnaturally flexible. And so, yeah, let's look to see some play from the guard.
Trying to lock up that right arm of Childrey.
Yeah, 280cc vets right here. They've both been in the big show, so. But I know Adam's been working arm drags a lot. He likes to pull you into a clinch with that, where you can set up a sweep, or submissions. As Eric mentioned, Adam's full guard is lethal. Missed that joke. Anyway, Adam's also, he's almost always the smaller guy in the absolute division. Almost all of his matches, he says he's been the smaller guy. So carrying a little bit of extra weight, he's used to that.
That's interesting for a guy who's 233 pounds to be the smaller guy.
I know, right? Probably the only format in which he would be the smaller guy.
Sakhnov sitting up, trying to grab the legs of Childrey, but now bails on it. See if we get a scramble here.
He's doing a good job of scooting his butt back and not allowing Childrey to lay the weight onto him. He wants his entry done his way, but he's making sure not to get caught anywhere. He's got full guard on the reset, so let's see if he gets to work on his rubber guard.
Had a couple resets early here. I think that speaks to the size of these guys. I mean, they've got 40 feet to work across, and a couple resets here. It's not big enough. 40 feet, not enough.
Free New York, free New York. Good base there, Jesse.
Coming up on 2.5 in to regulation. The full guard here for Sakhnov.
EBI veteran Denny Prokopos coaching his protege, Adam.
Yep.
Childrey trying to frame up something on the neck there of Sakhnov. Now Sakhnov maybe going to get to a base, maybe try to get on top here. He does. Good reset here as they nearly went off the mat again.
It's a little double.
Create that over the PG. Right there. Easy one. That's the end of a double leg right there. Over PG.
Really cool being in Austin, Texas here tonight, Audit Academy.
Get ready. Suck up. Make sure you suck up.
Denny offering advice to Adam and Childrey.
Yes.
Telling them, no, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to do that. No, no, no.
We talk about how there's an atmosphere generally in the Orpheum. There's a completely different sort of atmosphere here.
Yeah, it's very everybody can see each other.
You take your time.
It's a lot more intimate, though, a lot louder.
Denny Prokopos, always a loud cornerman, and even louder here tonight when you're in this this type of room.
And now Adam's got that full guard.
Shoulder pressure. Drop your left shoulder. Drop. Yes.
He loves his arm triangle.
And he's got a little skydive going with his legs.
More down.
Skydive.
Yeah, when his Adam on the full mount, when he hooks the back of Childrey's legs, the back of his knees with his hooks.
Grapevine?
Yeah, grapevine skydive. Yeah, Eddie refers to it as a skydive as well because you want to press your weight, your torso straight down.
Skydive sounds a lot more dangerous than grade 5.
It's more fun. He's trying to set up this arm triangle now. He's got the head and armpit control, and he's looking to get to the chopping block, which is one step before being able to squeeze pressure for the arm triangle.
Now he dropped his head down, but he lost control of the arm while he's doing that.
Now he's back in half guard.
But he is trying to keep that arm collected so he can go back to that arm triangle.
Yeah, and the pressure's good. It's nice and steady with his left shoulder.
And it's helping to keep Jesse Ray in that position too. It's hard for him to come up when he's got to push Adam's head and the rest of his body up in order to do so.
Over the halfway point of regulation here. TJ DeSantis, Scott Ross, Eric Cruz, EBI 14, the absolutes. It is Adam Sacknoff on the top of Jesse Ray Childry.
Yes.
Sacknoff passing here to side.
Hey, put the shoulder pressure.
Datsu Sara, our official sponsor of the Eddie Bravo Invitational. Hemp gear for victory. Join the fight at dsgear.com.
Yes. Yeah, feel for it more.
Ooh, head and arm guillotine for Adam.
Oh, that
jumping
one is
on the deep. Pops
Childry
out.
able to get free.
That long hair can be an extra helmet. Allow you to
Slippery,
slip
too.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pushing away, now is Sacknoff.
Oh, nice headbutt.
A bit of aggression there.
Fair game.
It's legal.
Adam, you have 3 minutes.
As long as it's not in the face. Yeah.
In the last tournament I saw palm strike, so everything looks legal here.
Oh,
Wow. Jesse Ray Childry.
Pulled off, and that was an upset.
Surprise attack.
Big submission for the Kentucky native, Jesse Ray Childry. Getting it done. Sacknoff looked like he was in a good position, but maybe the aggression got the better of him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by submission. Let's hear it for Jesse Ray Childry.
Have to take a look at the replay there to see how quickly it would end. Jesse Ray Childry got an opportunity. When he did not miss. Scott, walk us through this more.
Well, Jesse Ray was able to just slip it in when Adam leaned in on it, and then he pulled it out and over, and he wasn't able to go over his body, and that was it. He had to tap because he ran into a fulcrum, and the shoulder was just going to pop if he didn't tap. And I think Jesse Ray just grabbed it. Sometimes when the top player, if they lean in really heavy, it's kind of easy to set that up if they don't react to it right away.
Jesse Ray Childry on his way to the quarterfinals here at the Eddie Bravo Invitational.
Kicking off the right side of the bracket is EBI 6 finalist Rustam the Russian Bear Chiziev. Tonight he returns to EBI hungry for absolute gold. Standing in his way is the IBJJF World Champion Andrew Kimmler, representing Texas Punishment Crew. From the Onnit Academy, this is EBI 14. Up next here in Austin, welcome, representing K-JoJo. He is the EBI 6 finalist, the Russian Bear, Rustam Chiziev. And his opponent representing Texas Punishment Crew, Andrew Kimmler.
Our first match of the right side of the bracket, it is the Russian Bear, Rustam Chiziev, standing over Andrew Kimmler. Kimmler, the Texas native, who wants to make a big statement here, taking out the former finalist in the first round and do it in front of his statesman.
Immediately pulls guard, knows Rustam is a strong wrestler. Probably not a good idea to engage in that aspect of the game if you don't have those credentials.
His snap down is wicked. Yeah, I wouldn't like to feel that.
We saw Rustam in the first absolutes really be aggressive on top with his pressure, and that wore down a lot of his opponents. And he went 3-1 that night, winning 2 of his matches going overtime. And if Kimler can avoid, having to be on the bottom for more than 7 or 8 minutes, I'm sure he would enjoy doing that rather than going through the hell that is the top ride of Chiziev.
He had a good pass attempt early on, but yeah, it's the same kind of step over passes, flying into side guard, side mount.
Amir Alam faced Rustam in the first round of the last absolute, and Amir says that Rustam's the strongest man he's ever faced. And I know that Amir's gone up against a lot of big guys, so I thought that was notable.
Nice attempt at a flying topside triangle by Rustam.
Huh.
Kimler has, conceded the top position, but it's a top position where he's not wearing the weight being on bottom. I think that it's going to play to his advantage. I think the deeper this goes, because being underneath Rustam Chiziev is it's not fun. Just being under him is grating on your cardio, taxing you when you don't want that. You got to fight 4 times to win this thing.
Well, in wrestling, we typically would say that the shorter person has an advantage in just wrestling because they can do the level shifts a little bit better. They can drop lower. So, sitting down is one way of taking away some of that wrestling advantage that Rustam has, and trying to take it straight into a jiu-jitsu game where Andrew has more of an advantage.
Yeah, he seems a lot more comfortable down here, fending off the passing attempts and looking for some kind of counter.
Yeah, and you got triangle legs.
Yeah,
you look at those long legs.
He was actually right in the position for a triangle right there, too, as you said it.
Kimler found jiu-jitsu from his uncle, who convinced him to start trying and training. He was a blue belt, and 7 years later, Andrew Kimler now on the mat of the Eddie Bravo Invitational in the Absolute Tournament. And Chiziev is waited to get this opportunity. He came so close the first time at becoming the first champion, and I'm sure he's thought about that a lot leading into this tournament. And we talked about it at the top, the tactics. He had a good game plan the first time making it to the finals. I'm sure his game plan is even more refined now. Now in on the leg here, Kimler able to defend.
Kimler doing so far a good job of keeping Rustam from getting into any really deep waters as far as offense goes, and keeping his weight off of him, I think, is a great tactic he's been using.
And I think Rustam's faking that ankle lock really to try to help him get the pass.
Yeah. Like he wants to toss the ankles or just get a Toriano going. Okay,
got the hip control.
Pass. It's generally one of the best ways to go with somebody who insists on playing a bottom game. You go underneath the legs and toss them and try to get to their back.
Just say no.
Rustam disengages there, takes a deep breath. I don't think he's gassed. He might be a little bit frustrated, though. He's not able to get where he wants to go.
Yeah, it looks like a little mental fatigue. And how the pass was there earlier, now it's not quite here. Now I'm dealing with these legs.
Halfway point of regulation.
He's almost got the knee slice. Andrew gets that leg back in.
Andrew's trying to go for that inside Senkaku.
Good sprawl out of that, though.
Kimler fluid with his movement there, going inverted, then back on his back, not giving up any position, even though he's more aggressive in that moment than he has been pretty much throughout the entire match thus far. Kimler very flexible with his legs.
Be ready to go for it.
Yeah, his inversions are all over the place.
Chiziev disengages back to space.
As soon as Rustam gets anywhere close to the pass, Andrew immediately inverts. It's making it quite frustrating for Rustam.
Rustam now in on that leg. Do you think he's more committed to that leg than definitely
now he's going
is.
for it now.
I think that's a change of tactics because he hasn't been able to get that pass, right, Scott?
No, absolutely. But also, the more he commits to actually going for the ankle lock, the more that Andrew's going to have to commit to defending the ankle lock, and that could actually open up. But if you ever catch somebody not responding to your fake,
right,
you make it real.
And that's the thing about submissions. Obviously, you would love it to finish the fight, but if it induces a scramble and furthers your overall game, there's little victories in that by itself.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Sometimes with your, definitely with legs, sometimes like a counterattack, you have no expectation of it working, but what you're hoping is it'll make your opponent move, which will open up your defensive opportunities.
Inverted again for a brief moment was Kimler. Spins away again. Now Chiziev trying to get past.
At the under.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of big guys play inverted like that, though. You expect it at the 135 division, not so much in the absolute.
I think this is something that Chiziev really didn't think that he was going to have to battle through here. And that mental fatigue, that could really pay dividends if this goes another 2.5 minutes and we see overtime. Because it's a whole new ball game when we go to the one overtime. Just one overtime to get it all done. Now in on the neck is Chiziev.
Andrew does a great job of controlling the wrist. That was the choking arm.
Some really trying to get into business here. Ooh, Kimler able to save off danger.
Good job by Kimler trying to attempt a single leg there. Still got to defend his head and arm though. Great job.
Wow. Nice action here by these two heavyweights.
It's great guard recovery Andrew's been showing off.
Pick up the pace now.
.90 seconds left in regulation.
Watch your right foot.
Rustam's always trying to keep weight on him as much as he can, even if he's not successful with the passing. That is going to help fatigue his opponent, which will have some dividends if they do hit overtime.
Go for it. Nice, there you go, Andrew.
He's got that foot controlled, although he lost control of that lead foot.
Keep your frame. There you go. There you go. Arm drag just in a minute.
Which the pass dissipated at that point. Knee slice wiggles through.
It's still in half guard.
Twister side control pass. Nope.
Chiziev trying to attack that left arm of Kimler. He's got 40 seconds to make something happen.
Unless he has a sneaky attack from up here. Looks like this one's going into OT.
You got 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds. Nice.
Get that knee
Finally gets the
slice.
pass with 20 seconds left.
All right, he could spin around for a Kimura.
10 seconds here. Kimler still defending. Chiziev trying to go for a neck crank. Thinking about tapping is Kimler in a lot of pain. Oh, beautifully done.
That's hard.
Wow. Another thing I think Kimler knew where he was time-wise.
Yeah.
And he just gritted through it. Heart of a warrior there. So now we will go to overtime. Only one overtime period here in our first round. Chiziev will have the opportunity to take either spiderweb or back. There are two ways to win, submission or fastest escape time. That escape time, very important here as we only have one overtime period.
But Rustam is awesome at escaping. He's going to grab the back of his neck and shuck him off. Oh, not this time. He went with the...
And
he's got to turn. He's got to turn fast again to scrape him off.
Kimmler able to readjust, stays in the back.
That's where he grabs the head.
Wow, beautiful adjustment here, but he's out. Nope.
You can't go for leg attack.
Yeah, no legs.
Here we go. Not a lot of time here. Chiziev really doesn't need to get aggressive at all. I mean, a finish doesn't bank him any more money. You got to think maybe the Russian Bear's just going to hold on and ride this one out. It's the safest thing to do here.
Yep.
I'd say if it's 30 seconds and under, you just hold.
Yeah.
If it's more than 30 seconds, that is time for them to work.
He's established his ride time by taking the defense first.
Set, go.
And I don't know if that would necessarily be his...
Oops.
Oh, he's going for it.
No, he came up to the arm triangle.
He's out.
Still alive.
He's out.
The arm triangle, that's still in.
That's over.
Oh.
It's over. I think he was just riding.
No, when he switched his hips, he lost the arm triangle and it became a judo hold. Like a side control scarf hold.
Andrew Kimmler wins. That's a wrap. Wow. From out of nowhere, Andrew Kimmler moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner in overtime due to quickest escape time. It is Andrew Kimmler. Just when you thought it was all but a formality, the Russian Bear dispatched.
Yeah.
Expect the unexpected.
Well, look,
walk us through.
so Rustam comes up for the arm triangle, and that's still legit. That's still legit, but when the arm came out, it's no longer an arm triangle. And definitely when Rustam switches his hips, that's just a control point. He could have turned it into a sub, but he lost the submission chain. There was a moment where he just had control, and that's not what it is.
You've got to think that if he had the opportunity to do it over again, Rustam Chiziev would be a bit more conservative, but it's Andrew Kimmler getting it done in his home state of Texas. He moves on to the quarterfinals here at the Absolutes.
Two-time no-gi Pan American black belt ultra heavyweight champion Aaron Tex Johnson represents Unity Jiu-Jitsu. Tonight he faces Matt Kirschwim, a black belt representing Dan Henderson's AFC. This is the Eddie Bravo Invitational.
Gentlemen, welcome to the mat from Unity Jiu-Jitsu, Aaron Tex Johnson. And his opponent representing Dan Henderson's AFC and checkmat. It is Matt Kirschwim. Aaron Johnson immediately takes a seat. Kirschwim was really had a breakout performance in his first EBI appearance and wants to build off of that. Tonight he was one of the dark horses, but right now he's got to fend off this leg attack here from Tex Johnson.
Vicious little grab tight on that ankle there.
Yeah, I had breakfast with Tex this morning, and he actually showed me that ankle lock.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It hurt.
I'm sure.
What kind of breakfast do you guys have?
It's a jiu-jitsu thing.
Apparently. Joint locks with your scrambles. Yeah. Pun intended.
I'll let that one pass. Actually, it was pretty good.
Thanks. Tex Johnson now in the closed guard. See if he launches something towards Kirschwim. I mentioned Kirschwim's first EBI performance. He went 2-1.
I looked at a wrist lock. It's one way to deal with someone who's framing on your throat. Wrist lock.
Aaron Johnson would love to go far in this tournament. He's actually 1-1 in the overall head-to-head matchup with the King Gordon Ryan.
Ooh, nice arm drag, took him over.
That's right.
Got him into an underpass and ended him with the back. Nice.
See if Kirschwim can go at the back door here.
Put together two dynamic passes to get him to the back. Very good stuff.
Johnson has no hooks here on this, though, but he is in business.
Maybe a swim.
Yeah, he's trying to drive through with his knee to try to roll him over, but it didn't really destabilize his opponent the way he wanted to.
Both of these guys weighing in at around the same weight, 223.2 for Johnson, 220 flat for Kershwin.
And then Aaron ate at an all-you-could-eat buffet after he weighed in, so.
TJ DeSantis, Scott Ross, Eric Cruz. We are live tonight from the On It Academy in Austin, Texas. Tonight we close out the year of 2017 for the Eddie Bravo Invitational. It's been a heck of a year.
Matt's better off playing from the ground. When he was standing, he was leaving opportunities for leg weaves, giving Aaron an opportunity to isolate those legs. But, ooh, there's that sweep, arm drag with a little bit of a butterfly in there.
Little back exposure, following up on that with a pass.
Yeah, he's got a pass.
Switch the sides, it's Tex. Now he gets to drive that weight on him, put some shoulder pressure.
Shoulder justice. Nice meat hook. Keeping his fingers inside Matt's armpit.
Kershwin's got to be careful with his back exposure right now. Tex is getting the gift wrap going. He's just looking to get one of maybe the top side hook and rip him over. And there it is. And
he slid that knee in, trying to lead with the bottom leg, 'cause that's the hard leg to get in.
Yep. Good job by Kershwin, though, turning into his opponent just enough. Full mount is better than back mount. So, you know, as far as things go.
4 minutes into regulation, Johnson in business. He had the back earlier, but he never got his hooks in, and now he's in a much more dominant position. But Kershwin trying to go out the back door.
Oh, he does, yeah.
I like the way Tex is always finding a good grip, either like on the triceps or the back of Matt's head, trying to keep weight on him so he can pull him in for a clinch opportunity. Nice inversion.
Kershwin trying to pass there, but Johnson making the proper adjustments, not letting him through. Now he's got a hold of that arm. What's he looking for here, Scott?
Well, he wants to pull Matt in so that he can either elevate him with his legs or he can set up a butterfly sweep that way. Marcelo Garcia is very good using those 2-on-1s. Eddie Cummings likes to use oh, now he's got a foot, but he lost it. But yeah, when you get a 2-on-1 like that, you want to drag your opponent straight into you. And depending on the reaction, that sets up what your opportunities are. Now he's trying to keep one leg isolated. And he's constantly taking away the frames that Matt's placing up.
Two guys head to head here. First one trying to make some space here, trying to clear those legs.
Nice
now he breaks off to the side.
Trying to get for an arm bar. He's got that. Yeah, try to isolate that arm, pulling it out for a Kimura if he can straighten it out more.
Kershwin now defending arm bar upcoming.
Yep, he's got it deep.
Now his leg position could be a little bit better.
The leg would better over the face instead of inside the arm.
Nicely done. Kershwin able to stab and get his arm free. Looked like he was in danger there. I mean,
no, he was in real danger.
Yeah. Now the leg position was huge there. If he had that leg over his face and was able to create a little more separation, it would have definitely.
Or an X break right there.
Yeah, weave the other leg in, definitely.
Six and a half minutes over that mark here into regulation. We see Johnson very aggressive, whether he's in top position or on bottom. He's very offensive minded, where Kershwin is, even in top position, has had to be more defensive primarily.
Yeah, Aaron's definitely the one setting the tone for the match and where the match is going to go. And he's got a good game, a good game plan. It's working for him. He just hasn't been able to capitalize on the opportunities he's creating. But he is creating opportunities.
These guys definitely working. Kirschman with a big breath there. It's hot in this room as well. I mean, there's a lot of people in here. It's a small space. These guys are doing work. It feels like a June evening, not a December one here in Austin.
A hot summer night, middle of December.
Johnson again, 2 hands on the left arm of Kirschman. Now it bails on it.
Yeah, I think that whenever Matt comes up close, that's when Aaron decides to go for the head grip, and when he's far away, he likes to grab the wrist. It's, you know, he's got the ability to put more weight on Matt's head when Matt's closer rather than having it far out.
"90 seconds remain here in regulation. We see the advancement of action really off of everything that Aaron Johnson is doing. Is Kirschman just having issues here, Eric, getting his game going? Is he trying to solve the puzzle?
Yeah, it just seems like he has the intent of wanting to pass the guard, and if that's not working, he doesn't really have another option to go to, like jumping back on legs or pulling back on guard or taking another tactic. He kind of has a single mindset here, and unfortunately, if it's not paying off, it makes for kind of a stalemate kind of a match.
Kind of makes me think that Kirschman might have wanted to have been the sit-down player. You know, sometimes like when that's what your main strategy is, and somebody else takes that strategy, you're like, but what do I do?
Yeah. And I think the attacks, because Aaron has been so active the whole time, it's really made Matt's gun shy as far as committing to the pass all the way. He was really pretty close on a leg lock very early on, close to getting his back before, so I think that really made him go conservative for the rest of the match.
Yeah, a lot of times the bottom player is planning on using the top player's pressure against them. And so if you know the guy's trying to play that way, you're like, well, maybe I don't want to put that pressure there.
Exactly.
Styles make fights. Tactics have put this one 10 minutes through. Now we are going to overtime, and we'll see what the strategies are for these guys, as it looks like Aaron Tex Johnson will be on the back here in the top of the first overtime. Kirschman on defense. I want to remind you, we only have 1 overtime here in our opening round matchup. So we saw that in our last match. Escape time, depending on when it happens, is all the more important.
He's almost lost the hip control. You can still pull him back in. Nice.
Got the deep hook back in. Yep.
There it is.
Way to salvage the position there.
Good.
Crossing his ankles too, which is usually a no-no, but as far as keeping control right now, it's a safe bet.
And they're really high, a little bit to the side. That makes that ankle lock that's there hard, but he needs to pull him back in, or he's about to, oh, I like the way he went under the arm for a second. That helped him like try to change that angle, but he's on the way out.
Yeah.
Kirschman grabbing at his chest a little bit. I don't know if he has a rib injury or...
Might have been.
Wasn't a ton of time that he was controlled, but if he's hurt at all, I mean, that's going to affect him in the rest of this match and moving forward.
30 seconds. 33 seconds.
33 seconds.
Ready, set, go.
See what Kirschman wants to do here. He's going to try to go to that body triangle. He misses on it.
That's it.
That's it. Wow. Aaron Tex Johnson able to get free. I think Kirschman is hurt to the body, but nicely done by Aaron Tex Johnson. Let's make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner via quickest escape time in overtime. Put your hands together for Aaron Tex Johnson.
Really one of the harder fought matches you're going to see in this tournament that goes to overtime without a submission. These guys really worked hard for it. It was a bit of a chess match for Kerswein. And he was in good position here in overtime, but Aaron Johnson took the initiative, got free, and he moves on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, fought a great hand fight there, bringing the choking arm over. When he finally had an opportunity to get his hips out, made a nice risk at pushing the hook off and getting out.
Aaron Tex Johnson moves on in Austin. This is the Eddie Bravo Invitational.
On deck from Austin is the On It Invitational Super Fight champion Travis Moore, a black belt from John's Gym Temple. Standing in his way is a second-degree black belt and three-time Abu Dhabi Pro Trials Absolute champion Marcel Gonçalves, representing Fight Sports Naples. This is EBI 14, The Absolutes. Ladies and gentlemen, up next, welcome to the mat, representing John's Gym Temple, it is Travis Moore. And his opponent, representing Fight Sports, it is Marcel Gonçalves.
Travis Moore in the all gray, Gonçalves in the black with green trim.
Gonçalves says he actually performs better in absolute matches because people underestimate him, and he's a little bit faster than the bigger guys.
Travis Moore looking for some redemption. He was a part of EBI 9. Unfortunately for him, on that night he lost his first match to Kyle Boehm. So he would like to, start anew here and start a run with a victory. But Marcel Gonçalves, no easy out.
Yeah, it's a tough one to find redemption on.
Yeah, Kyle Boehm is a monster though, so it's not like there's no loss in stature to anybody's lost to Kyle.
Gonçalves, no stranger to EBI. His EBI record 2-1. He got wins over Oliver Taza, Dan Borovic, and then ran into Gordon Ryan, where he was defeated in overtime by submission.
And he's a really nice guy. I've met him before. He actually showed up at one of my classes, in which, of course, I asked him to show something. Why am I teaching this guy?
You mentioned Gonçalves feeling that he does better at absolute type of tournaments. Do you train any different when you know you're going to be in a tournament where you're seeing a variety of different body types, Scott?
Yes, absolutely. There's different body types have different strategies, no doubt. I believe Gonçalves is the smallest competitor. So typically you want to avoid positions where you're going to go on bottom. The one differential would be if you're a leg lock guy, you might be willing to take that risk anyway. But typically you want to avoid, and so that's a big decision right there. You want to trade tape top or bottom. But also you need to roll with bigger guys so you're used to carrying their weight. That's a cardio factor.
You mentioned the smaller stature of Gonçalves. He weighed in at 174.4, 30 pounds lighter than Travis Moore.
And that was his walking around, bulking up because he's going to do absolutes weight. I think he might compete at 55 or maybe even 45.
Looks like he might be setting up a calf slicer here. Oh, fancy feet.
It faked me out.
Getting ready for the the get down.
That comes later tonight. Victor Davila's son, Tori. It's his 18th birthday tonight. We're going to have to go celebrate here in Austin.
Happy birthday,
Tori.
little Tori.
Think Tori's got dance moves?
Oh, yeah.
He's Latin.
See some moves here from Travis Moore, trying to get top position, unable to do so. Gonsalves makes the adjustment.
It's like Travis is in a, I mean, looking to get that inside Senkaku, but Marcel's doing a great job of keeping the knee bent and not allowing any gap between his thigh and calf for the left leg of Travis to enter.
If you're joining us late, the King, Gordon Ryan, already through to the quarterfinals. We'll see him try to defend his championship tonight. The second ever absolute tournament here at the Eddie Bravo Invitational. TJ DeSantis, Scott Ross, Eric Cruz, live on at Academy in Austin, Texas.
There it is. Yep. Gets his knee out though on the transition.
Gonsalves able to stifle the advancement of top position by Moore. Keeps that arm straight out, pushes him away.
Looked like Travis, well, he's abandoned that approach, but it looked like he was trying to isolate an arm for Kimura, but
halfway point here of regulation. We cap off a busy weekend in combat sports. Busy weekend here in Austin as well as the On It Invitational was yesterday. Really a good grappling scene down here in Austin. Gonsalves here on the back here. Of course, EBI brought to you by Elixicure, all natural hemp-infused pain relief. Visit them at elixicure.com.
Ooh, 4:15 left.
oh,
Deep choking arm is deep behind the shoulder.
Marcel Gonsalves moves on to the quarterfinals. He gets a submission in regulation over Travis Moore. Nicely done for Marcel Gonsalves. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 5 minutes 49 seconds into regulation by rear naked choke, Marcel Gonsalves. All important money bank for Marcel Gonsalves. He gets on the back of Travis Moore and makes him pay. Scott, walk us through the end here.
all right, he's got one arm trapped, and he rolls back with the body triangle already on, and he's already got the shoulder. It's basically a short choke, one arm RNC. He just pulls that shoulder back to pull the elbow in, and there you go. Nice, very nice.
An elated Marcel Gonsalves getting it done. He submits Travis Moore in regulation, and he moves on to the quarterfinals here at the Eddie Bravo Invitational.
With the highlight reel moment that he wanted.
Closing out the first round of the Absolutes, ADCC star Craig Jones, a black belt out of Absolute MMA, faces the EBI newcomer and 2017 Gracie Worlds black belt champion Andy Burke, representing Victory MMA. Gentlemen, welcome to the mat, the EBI veteran representing Absolute MMA, Craig Jones. And his opponent representing Victory MMA, Andy Burke.
Craig Jones, he kicked off the year at EBI 11, making a name for himself. He had some success at ADCC. He's back at the Eddie Bravo Invitational stage here tonight on bottom here of Andy Burke.
Oh, right into inside Sankaku. Jesus, wow.
Quick work!
14
Craig
seconds.
Jones! Unbelievable!
15 seconds.
14.
Wow.
We'll get the official time, but magic on display there by Craig Jones. Wow, unbelievable stuff. Let's make it official.
Hamburgers and french fries, people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at just 12 seconds into regulation. Let's hear it for Craig Jones. They don't get paid by the hour, they get paid by the submission, and Craig Jones banks one right there. Solid, smooth stuff. We'll take a look at the replay. Capella, walk us through.
Yeah, just gets that lift he wants, immediately gets a tight triangle in on that inside Sankaku position, already has the heel isolated, already has his grip in. It's just a matter of clearing one arm for the defense, grips his gable grip in, isolates the heel there, takes all the slack, and has to tap or snap right there.
Oh, that was pretty.
We mentioned the magic of Craig Jones at EBI 11, had success at Abu Dhabi, and if this is any indication of what we can expect from him tonight, Craig Jones is in for another big moment in 2017. He's moving on to the quarterfinals as we round out the opening round of the Eddie Bravo Invitational. Solid stuff by Craig Jones.
Breakout submission artist of the year.
All right, let's take a look at the bracket and see how things match up for our quarterfinal here in Austin. Gordon Ryan, the king, he gets it done. He'll meet Patrick Donabedian. Casey Hellenberg, victorious over Karan Darabedian. He takes on Jesse Ray Childrey, who defeated Adam Saknov. Right side of the bracket here sees Andrew Kimmler get past Rustem Shiziev. He'll take on Aaron Tex Johnson. Marcel Gonsalves, victorious over Travis Moore. He will meet Craig Jones. The quarterfinals coming up from Austin. You're watching the Eddie Bravo Invitational on UFC Fight Pass. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our quarterfinal matchups. Welcome back to the mat. He is the reigning and defending absolute EBI champion. He is the king, Gordon Ryan. And his opponent, representing 10th Planet HQ, Patrick Donabedian. Quarterfinal matchups, Gordon Ryan, the champion, taking on 10PQ winner Patrick Donabedian. Think about the journey for Donabedian, having to go through 4 matchups just to get here now on the mat with the champ.
That was interesting. Patrick sitting down, going straight into trying to pull Gordon into a leg lock by isolating a leg, but Gordon kind of sprawled past that. Now Patrick's doing a good job framing, trying to keep Gordon from dropping all of his weight on him.
You can really hear the dulcet tones of John Danaher inside the On It Academy.
Gordon's hunting for the elbow to try to isolate the arm right now. Maybe set up a Kimura or a back take.
It's not often you hear the word dynasty in combat sports, but the Danaher Death Squad is definitely that. And there's an arm bar upcoming here. There it is. Gordon the King Ryan, victorious via submission, his 14th straight stoppage here in the Eddie Bravo Invitational, and that is a wrap. We will make it official. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 1 minute, 3 seconds into regulation. He is the king, Gordon Ryan. Armbar getting it done for Gordon Ryan, 14-0 now in this Eddie Bravo Invitational tournament setting, and he really made short work here of Donabedian.
Yeah, well, the way he grabbed it, like he just snatched that Kimura grip, and then I like how he triangled his legs around the shoulder so that there's no room, and basically pulled the arm right over the hip socket, which is to hit the lock. That was a really slick submission entry, really. A lot of times people would have switched their grip to go for a traditional armbar from spiderweb, but that was a slick version on by isolating that shoulder with that triangle right there. That's really nice.
Gordon Ryan had to work a lot more than many may have expected in his first round matchup, but he only works just a minute in his quarterfinal matchup. He is on his way to the semifinals. Gordon Ryan looks to keep his crown here tonight in Austin. Our second quarterfinal matchup of the evening, representing University of Jiu-Jitsu. Please welcome back Casey Hellenberg. And his opponent, representing Nice Guy Submission Fighting, Jesse Ray Childrey.
Go, Jesse Ray.
Here it is, Jesse Ray Childrey. Right side of your screen, Casey Hellenberg on the left. It is the Absolute Tournament here in Austin, Texas. EBI 14, TJ DeSantis, Scott Ross, Eric Cruz. Live tonight on inchbyinch.tv. Childrey now in the half guard, it looks like, of Hellenberg.
And he's got the head too. There's not, oh no, he lost control of the head. Trying to shove it in for a Darce maybe, but lost that position.
Saw the promo a moment ago. We kick off 2018 in Burbank. Featherweights take center stage. Eddie Cummings looking to defend his featherweight crown. Gentlemen would love to wrestle it away from him. The bantamweight champion, Gio Martinez, in that tournament.
Break. Break.
Those two gentlemen met 1 year ago today at EBI 10.
Yeah, they're supposed to have a rematch soon, but that ended up not materializing recently.
Get a reset here, back in the center of the mat. The 310-pounder Jesse Ray Childrey on top of Casey Hellenberg.
I like the way Jesse Ray's keeping weight, keeping that head position, and he keeps moving forward, trying to, you know, make a little extra work for his opponent.
Childrey with the impressive victory over Adam Sacknoff in the opening rounds of this tournament. Bit of an upset there. He looks to further that story here tonight. Hellenberg now sitting up, trying to get a hold of that neck. Hellenberg got past Karan Darabedian. Childrey got up and turned his back and you know, didn't have a lot of urgency to turn back around. Hellenberg could have tried to take advantage of that, but something to sort of keep your eye on. If
he's got a Russian grip round, 2-on-1. You do that Zangief roll, but he loses it. Oh, try to set up a leg pick with that.
I mentioned EBI 15 coming your way from Muscle Farm HQ in Burbank, California. If you have a place that would like to host the Eddie Bravo Invitational, get at us on Twitter, Eddie Bravo 10. Love to take this thing all over the world. World domination, the submission-only movement here at EBI. These two heavyweights on their feet, jockeying for position.
Turn into a bit of a Greco-Roman match here right now with the over-under and the pummel on the head position. Wasn't for a single, nothing there. The whoever has the dynamic level change first will get the better of this exchange. Right now, they're really, really upstairs.
Now Casey's got the better head positioning. And he got around. Yeah, he's got that pressure from the shoulder. He's trying to roll all the way around Jessire's back, but it's a broad back. Although he does have, had the leg isolated for a second.
Trying to find the right angle there. And a flare out to the outside, maybe hit a double leg flare from the side.
Really an interesting wrestling match here. I mean, it's not the most active, but it's technical. It's very interesting to see how Hellenberg tries to get Jesse Ray down.
Yeah, and this is a good example of how size, on bigger guys, can really change. There's a wide range of body type, a bigger range of body types in this weight in an absolute than anything else. And sometimes you just can't wrap around the bigger guys.
Hellenberg nicely now on the back of Jesse Ray Children. Both hooks in.
Got a classic snap down, head and arm right to the back. Great work by Casey.
A lot of time.
Although he's missing the bottom hook, and the bottom hook is the hard hook to get in.
The transitions to an arm triangle and full mount, which is probably one of the best things he can do once losing that bottom hook.
Stuck in half now, he loses the grip.
Goes back to half guard voluntarily. I don't know if he was trying to go side mount back on the other side. Got caught.
Halfway point of regulation.
Jessiray is one of those guys, and maybe Casey's actually big enough to mount Jessiray, but sometimes guys who have a, let's say, substantial mid-portion, sometimes your knees don't hit the mat right. You can't develop a really good base if they're too round.
The mount is an interesting position. A lot of guys in MMA prefer to use half guard just as a control position because, punching. But here, I mean, really, there's not a lot available maybe if you don't think that you can really secure that position, so maybe not worth taking them out on certain opponents.
Yeah, it's definitely not as strong in pure sport jiu-jitsu as it is in MMA because of the threat of the striking. Exactly.
And also, in a gi, it's a lot easier. In a gi, a mount is kind of like death.
Bow and arrow choke and collar chokes from the top. It's a lot more accessible. Ezekiel's, very hard to do no-gi possible.
It's mostly arm attacks and triangles is what's going to be happening.
Right arm here, getting attacked by Chilled Ray.
He should actually bring the arm down more.
He's now readjusting, maybe going to go for an armbar. Armbar. Really taking his time is Hellenberg.
Securing that hook a bit. Now he's got the leg over. He's going to sit back and try to break the grip on the pull back. But he's got the leg over the face in a great position. He's in spider web.
Children not panicking, not getting desperate and giving up anything.
Looking for that.
Now, Jessiray should roll up to his knees so he can stack Casey.
Yeah, right now, that right arm is taking a lot of blood. A lot of pressure on that arm. He's slow cooking it. There it is. Two arms on that arm. Pulling the wrist.
That arm is cooked and he's done. Casey Hellenberg via armbar, moving on to the semifinals where he will meet Gordon Ryan. Unbelievable. Nicely done by Casey Hellenberg. Let's make it official. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 6 minutes, 46 seconds via armbar. Let's hear it for Casey Hellenberg. Hellenberg, very methodical. He gets what he wants, a submission. Moving on to the semifinals. Capello, walk us through this slow-cooked armbar.
Yeah, had a great spiderweb position in there. Had the deep hook, switched the deep hook. Now he moved up to the higher part of the bicep. Has kind of this Ronda Rousey 45-degree angle going up toward the head. Once he gets the break on the grip, it's just full commitment to that armbar right there, and it's a wrap.
Casey Hellenberg getting it done. Armbar stoppage of Jesse Ray Childrey. He is bound for the semifinals. Casey Hellenberg getting things done in a big way in Austin.
We move on in our quarterfinal matchups. Please welcome back to the mat representing Texas Punishment Crew. It is Andrew Kimler. And welcome back his opponent representing Unity Jiu-Jitsu. It is Aaron Tex Johnson. Andrew Kimler in the blue, Tex Johnson in the black, and both men immediately sit at the same time. You can tell what position they want to be in.
It was a battle of the butterflies. It's like poetry in motion. Oh, deep on a foot.
Is that an Estima lock he was going for a second?
Yes, kind of.
Johnson now trying to attack the right leg of Kimler.
He's going for ankle locks.
Mm-hmm. He's got a deep grip on that. I think he's using that just to keep the knee in line for the heel hook.
Yeah, but I think he likes ankle locks. Because he's got that angle. There's a hip going in.
Yeah, he's high on the calf though, but he's a bit on the calf.
No, you're fine even mid-range. You can break it there because the bend, like he's trying. It's a different style of ankle lock.
Yeah.
Kimler gets free now, trying to pass. Just a minute into this one. Our third quarterfinal matchup of the evening. Kimler was victorious over Rustam Shiziev. Got it done via escape time and overtime.
That was a nice sweep.
Aaron Johnson.
Sweep earlier.
Aaron Johnson victorious over Matt Kirschwim, and also was finished in overtime.
Looks like a leg pummeling game coming on. No, 2-on-1.
Wrist and elbow control. Keep him pressure. Be stiff arm and back. Back to the ground. Nice. Good. Keep him right. There you go. Make him work. Stay up. Nice. Walk out.
Another scramble here.
Yeah.
Tex Johnson getting on top. Trying to go for an arm bar.
Got it.
Kimler tried to roll through, unable to do so. Aaron Tex Johnson gets it done via arm bar in regulation. He is bound for the semifinals. Nice work for the man named Tex. Let's make it official. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 2 minutes and 13 seconds into regulation. Put your hands together for Tex Johnson. Aaron Tex Johnson moving on to the semifinals. Arm bar gets it done. Scott, walk us through the end of this match.
All right, so he gets this sweep. He comes up on top and just spins around for a short arm bar. See how he's got the foot right on the inside of the guy's lats to help push off with it. Look, he's still got one leg in. He's driving over, and he's already got the arm isolated with that shoulder hook. He spins around, puts his right leg right on the lats, and then drops back with the left leg on top of his body to push him back down. And it's just a speed arm bar. The guy could have possibly escaped with a corkscrew attempt because he didn't have control of the opposite shoulder, but that's why speed attempts work. You know, you hit him fast there before the other guy has time to react, and there you go.
Aaron Tex Johnson speeding his way to the semifinals. He's victorious here at EBI 14. Ladies and gentlemen, time for our final quarterfinal matchup. Welcome back to the mat representing Fight Sports. It is Marcel Gonçalves. And his opponent representing Absolute MMA. Put your hands together for Craig Jones. Marcel Gonçalves on the left side of your screen, Craig Jones on the right, our final quarterfinal.
of EBI 14. TJ DeSantis, Scott Ross, Eric Campella Cruz, On It Academy, Austin, Texas.
All right, going in on that Z guard.
Oh.
Trying to get underneath him quickly. Looks for
Took 12 seconds for Craig Jones to get his first victory here tonight.
I think he may be trying to send a message.
almost had a calf slice going again. Same kind of thing with that leg lacing over. Sets up calf slices. Now he's in on the inside heel.
There it is, Craig Jones! Gets it done in less than 45 seconds. Gonsalves in a bunch of pain, but immediately was congratulatory as well. See if he can walk that one off. Craig Jones! What a year it has been. What a year it continues to be. Let's make it official. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at just 34 seconds into regulation via heel hook. It is Craig Jones. Two matches in, less than 45 seconds into this thing, Craig Jones is on his way to the semifinals, and we talked about an amazing year. This is another amazing win for him.
Yeah, he switches legs. That was smooth, the way he switched legs, gets knee control, has a heel hook, has the knee isolated, arches into the knee as he drops his weight on the toes with a little twist, boom. Hopefully it comes.
Doesn't even have the legs laced together. Just wanted to point that out real quick. He would just dove on that. It was all grip on the heel.
Craig Jones continuing.
That's nice, that switch over to the other leg.
But not even that tight. His legs are still kind of spread out.
No, I think it's because he's got the weight dropped down onto the toes was the real controlling factor.
Yeah.
Craig Jones, without even breaking a sweat, is on his way to the semifinals. Another huge win for the Absolute MMA products here at EBI. All right, semifinal matchups are set here. The King, Gordon Ryan, victorious. 2 fights in, 2 submission wins. He meets Casey Hellenberg, who got it done in the quarterfinals over Jesse Ray Childry. The other semifinal will look like this. Get it on our screen here in a moment. There we go. Aaron Johnson, Tex. He meets Craig Jones, who again has made very short work of his opponents here tonight at EBI 14. It is the Eddie Bravo Invitational, and it is all about the absolutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached our first semifinal of the evening. Welcome back to the mat, representing Brunswick, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is the reigning and defending absolute champion, the King, Gordon Ryan. And his opponent, representing University of Jiu-Jitsu, Casey Hellenberg. Our first semifinal of the evening, Gordon the King Ryan defending his absolute crown. He meets Casey Hellenberg.
Nice arm drag. Gets the party going already. Maybe looking for that base switch pass we saw at ADCC against Hamelo. Yep, there it is. All the way to the back, yeah.
Even if Hellenberg knew it was coming, nothing he could really do about it. Gordon Ryan, when he's on, he is on.
Hellenberg was trying to chase a possible knee bar attempt, but basically gave up his back. That's dangerous, putting the arms down.
Body triangle coming in.
Hellenberg really trying to stop that body triangle. He's been able to stifle it thus far. Ryan now gets it on the other side.
Now, the thing about the body triangle is not only does it help keep control, it also sucks a lot of energy out of your opponent because you're right there on the diaphragm, or you could be, and that squeeze, it also generates a lot of pressure on the defending party's back. Sometimes you can actually just catch somebody with a back crank if you can get the proper angle on their head and push your hips in when you've got a good body triangle in there. Gordon Ryan definitely has a strong body triangle.
Choking arms coming across now. He's getting deeper with that hand.
Now across the face on that lower jaw.
Yep, starting to ratchet it through.
Oh, he got the space he needed. He turned for a second, but I think he went back in.
Yeah, he's almost there. He wants to get that right hand over and lock in the rear naked choke. Just needs to zip tie just another inch or two. Casey does a good job of fending that off.
And trying to pivot his head to get it to the ground. If your head's on the ground, you're basically safe from that particular choke.
Gordon Ryan, the 3-time EBI champion, defending his absolute crown for the first time tonight. 14-0 in his EBI run. Every fight has ended via submission. 2 have gone to overtime, but he was able to submit his opponents. He's already banked $70,500 just himself. Gordon Ryan has banked that much money. Professional jiu-jitsu is a real thing, a lucrative thing for these Danaher Death Squad guys.
I like the way Gordon's using the shoulder hooks a lot to help keep control of the back, even when he sometimes loses the hooks, like just happened. And it looks like he's trying to set up a reverse triangle, maybe, or switch back to another one of those
spiderweb arm bars.
Yeah,
there it is. Yeah, that hook on the shoulder definitely gets him back into position for that arm bar if he wants.
Hellenberg able to get his head inside, but not out of danger by any means.
Yeah, that arm's in deep jeopardy.
Yeah, might be a little triangle coming in here too, and then an attack on the arm on top of that. Yep, that left.
Yeah, it does look like he's trying to slip that through, especially.
Yep, there it is. Yep. And it's like, yeah, 2 arms. It's just a really high back mount right now.
EBI 14 brought to you by Nuwaza Apparel. Get the latest styles, including their holiday exclusives, at nuwazaapparel.com.
Back to it, so it's in the spot.
Oh, he got to spin fast to try to scrape him off.
See if Hellenberg can induce a scramble here. Ryan has lost that left hook. Now he abandons the right.
Goes in for a single. Might have been a good time just to bail and get a reset at that point and just get some distance.
You look at the run of Gordon Ryan here at EBI, he's always been in control. He's the one that is always dictating the action, even against bigger guys like Casey Hellenberg. He's the one who dictates the pace in nearly every single one of his matches.
Looks like another.
Yeah, Casey's trying to peel the legs off. And looks like he's trying to pull it in for a leg attack right there.
Yep. Gordon Ryan now getting defensive.
Yep.
But the knee line was clear very early.
See the composure of the 22-year-old champion, Gordon Ryan. Halfway point here of regulation. That's the most defensive we've seen Gordon Ryan, I think, since his last overtime. Now he clears the side.
Yep. The base switch pass.
Casey creating a frame to try to create some space. He wants to try to get one of his knees inside that hip line, maybe. I think he. Yeah. Wow. I thought he was going to try to pull that knee bar in, but it didn't quite work out that way for him.
Gordon was flirting with that honey hole position there for a second, but Casey goes back to his turtle.
That's an interesting grip that he's trying to keep control of. It looks like it's an awkward angle to try to roll him.
See Ryan very
Gordon
calm.
could pull that arm up a little bit and maybe put it into a baby arm.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. He has an arm bar there for him.
Hellenberg trying to get on top, maybe.
For a split second, enjoys the top. Back to butterfly. Good job by Casey defending up to this point.
A nice knee slice. Nice knee slice.
Controlling the head is the champion, Gordon Ryan. Now attacking the right arm, it looked like.
And does he have the other arm trap too, with his legs? Possible crucifix.
Hellenberg now trying to stand, trying to make something happen here.
Single leg. Ooh, nice. Same kind of thing he did to Keenan Cornelius in the end of the ADCC.
Hellenberg trying to force the issue, trying to make something happen, but Gordon Ryan just seems to be one step ahead of him. You see flashes of maybe progress for Hellenberg, but Gordon able to shut it down instantly.
Yeah, Gordon's rolling really heavy on Casey, like making Casey bear his weight, and that's part of what allows him to stuff all of Casey's attempts to come up, is he just drops that weight further down, never lets him get his full power in any of the movements he's trying to make.
TJ DeSantis, Scott Ross, Eric Cruz. We're Matt Side, Onnit Academy in Austin, Texas. EBI 14, the Absolutes.
Oh, he just isolated Gordon just isolated one of Casey's arms with his leg, so it's like a 2-on-1 attack for a moment, but he lost control of that.
Don't forget, we are on social media, Instagram, EBI Official. I'm at TJ DeSantis. Eric Cruz is Acapella, the #1. Instagram, as we mentioned, EBI Official. Twitter, the same thing. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Get at us if you want EBI in your town. You have an opportunity for the Eddie Bravo Invitational. We'd love to come. Now, Gordon Ryan isolates that right arm with his right leg, now trying to attack the neck here.
He's trying to get the chin up. Trying to get Casey's chin up. And he's doing it by pulling the head to the side and up. Yeah. Also trying to use his thumb to elevate the chin.
And he's got a lot of attempts here. It has one arm isolated, so all Casey has is the left arm to try to defend.
Oh, and that's tough when somebody strong's like driving their thumb straight into your throat. And a little bit of chin strap action in there. He just keeps working that neck, trying to break Casey down mentally and physically. Ooh.
Casey Hellenberg now trying to go out the back door. Got to make sure he doesn't leave an arm exposed. Nicely done by Hellenberg. We'll see if he can secure this top position and get his game going. He's got about 35 seconds remaining here in regulation. It's been a little while since we've seen Gordon Ryan taken this far in an EBI match.
Yeah, great job by Casey so far, staying fully aware of the submissions. Was not really surprised by anything coming at him. And Gordon methodically was switching to different options, and nothing really panned out.
Gordon had a longer first match, quick second match, the semifinal match, almost 10 minutes in the books here. We are headed to overtime. This is our first overtime since we've left the first round, so now we have 3 overtimes. See the overtime rules, 2 possible positions, spiderweb or the back, 2 ways to win, either submission or the fastest escape time. Hellenberg on the back of the champion. Gordon Ryan has been to overtime 2 times before here at EBI. He has won both of those overtimes via submission. Hellenberg looks like he's breaking off to the side here, maybe trying to get an arm triangle position.
Yeah, he's trying to come up, but lost it.
Very aggressive for Hellenberg. That would have been disastrous if we were still in the format of only 1 overtime, but you know, he has the opportunity to be a bit more aggressive here, but all of that will go by the wayside if Gordon Ryan gets a submission here in the bottom of the first overtime. He'll be victorious. The body triangle immediately put on by Gordon Ryan. Ooh. Hellenberg defending.
Well, luckily, Casey had experience in this position all throughout the match, so he's kind of felt what it like to escape from here.
Now Gordon's foot is in some jeopardy when that body triangle was down on the ground, but Casey didn't attempt to hit that ankle lock at all. So Gordon was fine just leaving it there until they moved out.
Oh, belly down.
Out. Gordon Ryan in deep on it now. We see Hellenberg goes to stand. Says, no, sir.
That's a strong man.
Still in a very dangerous spot. Hellenberg cannot slam Gordon Ryan out of this. Oh, taps! Gordon Ryan on his way to his 4th straight EBI final. Rear naked choke, stoppage in overtime, gets it done for the King. Let's make it official. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner via submission in overtime. He is the absolute champion, the King, Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan doesn't get the submission in regulation, so he does not bank the money, but that perfect EBI record of a submission in every match still intact. 15 wins, 15 submissions. This one in overtime. Walk us through the end, Capella.
Yeah, just the rear naked choke and just sinking in on that grip, viewing that he had it fully locked up, committed to counting down the squeeze, and just like a trash compactor, slowly increasing the pressure, and not letting up. Eventually, Casey had to cave into that pressure.
Is there anything different that he has to do, Eric, because considering that they stood up with it? Does that change the way that he finished it?
For Gordon?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just committing to that squeeze there. He's on the jaw. It might have even turned a little bit into a neck crank because it seemed like Casey's head turns to the side a little bit. But I think it's just the overall pressure of the choke coming in. And once he turns his head, it's that much deeper. So, yeah.
Hellenberg helpless, forced to tap. The King, Gordon Ryan, rules once again on his way to the finals where he will defend his championship. Gordon Ryan making big things happen at EBI 14. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our second semifinal of the evening. Welcome from Unity Jiu-Jitsu, Aaron Tex Johnson. And his opponent, welcome back to the mat from Absolute MMA, Craig Jones. Who will meet Gordon Ryan in the finals? We will find out. It is Aaron Tex Johnson taking on Craig Jones. Craig Jones has only been on the mat for about 46 seconds coming into this one. We have to look at the record books, but he got his first submission tonight in just 12 seconds, which is dangerously close to a record, but he's dangerously close to getting submitted himself, and Jones able to spin free.
You know, it's interesting. One of the differences between having been in there a long time is that Tex is wetter.
Yeah.
And that can work to your advantage when you're trying to get out of stuff, but it can be to your...
Unbelievable. That's about 40 seconds. So he doubles his fight time. But Craig Jones is on his way to the finals with less than 90 seconds of work.
Hamburgers and fries, people.
He's just mastered that inside heel hook right now, you know, 3 in a row.
Craig Jones making big things happen. Will the Cinderella story continue when he takes on Gordon Ryan? We will find out later, but let's make this win official. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 38 seconds into regulation. He is Craig Jones. Nice sign of sportsmanship. Craig Jones like, don't drop me, man. I got one more fight left in me. Wow, Craig Jones getting it done. 38 seconds. Capella, walk us through this quick submission again.
He's got to be...
Yeah, he's got the inside heel. He just shoots in, man, and just takes that heel. It's really the same thing he did in the last 2 matches, just a little faster, a little sneakier.
Craig Jones going to be the underdog in the finals, but momentum would be an understatement. This man, he has something in his corner tonight where you need to expect the unexpected.
And you're right, Eric. He's just basically just jumping right into that position.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
It's
not
less
even
of a
caring
setup,
about,
it's a catch.
He's not even worried about locking the knees in or crossing the toes. He's just getting a bite and going. You know?
Really, an amazing night of action here in Austin. And what would you expect? Can't expect anything less than perfection for Gordon Ryan. 3 matches, 3 submissions. His last one over Casey Hellenberg came by way of overtime, but still a submission nonetheless. Gordon Ryan in place to defend his crown. Standing in his way will be Craig Jones. He's worked less than 2 minutes this entire evening. He gets past Aaron Johnson in the semifinals, and I say momentum is on the side of Craig Jones, but his destiny in his immediate future, we will find out as he meets Gordon Ryan coming up later in our main event of the evening, our final of this absolute tournament. All right, up next, a special matchup headed your way between Priscilla Herrera and Laura Hyman. More action from the Eddie Bravo Invitational.
For our special matchup of the evening, we see 2 local talents take the EBI stage. When Priscilla Herrera, representing 10th Planet Austin, looks to test her skills against the 4-time Master Worlds champion, Laura Hyman, representing IJJ Austin.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special matchup headed your way here. 2 Austin natives on the worldwide stage of the Eddie Bravo Invitational. Welcome from 10th Planet Austin, Priscilla Nogi Pris Herrera. And her opponent representing IJJ Austin, please welcome Laura Hyman. Priscilla Herrera on the left, Laura Hyman on the right. It is Women's Week on UFC Fight Pass. This week we crowned the first ever flyweight champion in the UFC.
Nice, she goes right in with that Imanari.
Yep, right to the inside Sankaku. Heel hook.
She's trying to get that knee back in.
Yeah, Laura did a great job getting the knee out though. Very responsive. Great entry by Priscilla.
These ladies wasting no time going for it.
Laura with the head and arm on top.
Now Priscilla's got to be careful because her arm is a little isolated right there, and that can be used to set up inverted arm bars.
She switches back to the forearm inside. Fixes her lockdown up.
Ooh.
Got a
bit of an injury here.
Yeah.
That's not the way anyone wanted this one to end.
Yeah, sometimes when the knee goes down and the heel goes up at the same time, it can basically hurt the meniscus.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just from the lockdown and twisted into an electric chair. Laura didn't turn with it, and there was a break there.
Maybe we'll get a replay here. This is definitely not what anyone wanted to see. Both of these Austin natives really wanted to put on a show here, but I think we're going to get a look at it. Eric, walk us through what happens.
Yeah, so Priscilla has the electric chair, and lockdown is up. It's nice and high. She whips it to the other way. Laura's knee is caught inside. She's trying to turn, but yeah, her knee gets caught there. Almost like it got heel hooked, basically.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like, that's what happens when the knee goes down.
You can see it better from this angle here. Laura's legs caught between, and then it just, oh yeah, you see her left knee get twisted and kind of get stuck on the mat, actually. Her bottom instep got stuck on the mat as they were turning. If she was able to clear it and go with it, she would have been all right. But her foot got stuck, and then there was too much torque on the knee. Unfortunate turn of events there.
Laura Hyman back to her feet. Nice sign of sportsmanship here. Not the way that Priscilla Herrera wanted to win this one, but a win nonetheless. Let's make it official. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a stoppage due to an injury. It is a win nonetheless. Let's hear it for Priscilla Herrera.
Let's also put your hands together for a valiant effort for Laura Hyman.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but also effective. It is a technique that you know, when you stop your opponent, it is effective. And for Priscilla Herrera, she gets it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, 16 grapplers have taken the stage tonight for one common goal. That is to become an EBI Absolute Champion. Now only 2 remain. Make some noise as this is your final for EBI 14. Welcome back from Absolute MMA. He is the challenger, Craig Jones. And his opponent, he is the reigning and defending Absolute Champion, the ADCC gold medalist for 2017. It is the King, Gordon Ryan.
Ready? Let's do it.
The final is upon us. Gordon Ryan stands over Craig Jones. Jones has made quick work of the field, and it would be something if he could get past Gordon Ryan.
Yep, same entry he's been using in the earlier matches. Let's see how much mileage he can get out of it this time.
He wasn't able to get that knee line that he wanted.
Good use of base by Craig Jones.
And Jones is really, I mean, he's done more work in the back warming up than he has out here getting to this point. I mean, obviously for his energy level, it's got to be great. Confidence, even bigger. I mean, you need to be perfect if you're going to get past Gordon Ryan, and Craig Jones has been just that.
Shoulders on the floor and just start throw by.
Push your knees down to the mat.
Yeah, well, it's got to help him that he's so well, so fresh. You know, he hasn't spent much of his energy throughout the night, and that's definitely going to help. But Gordon, you know, has been relatively quick himself. He did get pushed towards the end of one of his matches, but you know, he hasn't been in wars all night.
Yeah, going into the overtime with Casey, drained a little energy, came in with a bit of a sweat. Definitely more than Craig has spent all night.
In the match with Hellenberg, I mean, regulation and overtime, Gordon was in control from the moment go. He did have a longer match in his first bout with Dan Borovic, I think, going into the 9-minute mark, but
yeah,
it's more just quantity of time worked and not necessarily effort that has really been drawn out of Gordon Ryan. He has been pushed.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, I mean, he's been dominating his matches,
yeah,
so like the other guys have been carrying his weight.
He's like squeezing body triangles and going for subs, which can tire you out a little bit, but ultimately you get that reset in between matches. You should be good as far as lactic acid buildup and some muscles and whatnot.
This is a rematch as well. These two met at EBI 11 to kick this year off, and we finished the year with these two back on the mat, and Jones going for it. I mean,
everybody went ooh. That was a pretty armbar too.
Triangle.
You know, things have a way of playing out in combat sports that everything feels serendipitous, and this is one of those matches. I mean, you're talking about two guys that have had career years. Gordon Ryan captures the ADCC gold, has really broken out here on the EBI stage, and now, you know, Craig Jones, who made a name for himself at EBI 11, had a solid Abu Dhabi as well. You couldn't write a better end, I think, to the year having these guys meet up in the finals.
Yeah, that's going to be a great match. I mean, they had this match earlier at ADCC, and Ryan ended up coming up on top, but I think Craig is very aware of what Gordon's capable of, and is doing a good job of asserting his game plan.
Of course, none of this would be possible without our sponsor, Studio 540, proud sponsor of the Eddie Bravo Invitational. Visit them, Studio 540.
Enter into your space. Keep doing your thing. You're doing great. playing your space. Elevating now.
Yeah, they're both leg pummeling right now. Both of them are looking for the heel hook. Jockeying for position, trying to get a leg isolated.
Foot inside.
Got a deep grip on the left ankle of Ryan.
Elbow exposure on the shot bomb. Also control the head. We're trying to get Tommy transitions.
Jones in on that right leg of Gordon Ryan, really selling out for it, trying to make something happen, but Ryan wise to it, able to get his leg free. Crowd here in Austin, appreciative of the action.
So far, it's Craig Jones setting the pace for this match. Gordon's had to defend 2 legitimate attacks.
This is our final match of 2017. Don't forget, EBI back in action 2018. The featherweights take center stage February 17th, Muscle Farm HQ in beautiful Burbank, California. More info at ebiofficial.com.
5 minutes there. 5 minutes in.
Halfway point here of regulation. Gordon Ryan, the champion, goes flying. Jones wise to it. He stands. We mentioned it was a year ago today that Gio Martinez defeated Eddie Cummings down in Mexico City. Can lightning strike twice? Can we see a Danaher Death Squad member upset 2 years in a row to cap the year off? Like I said, momentum on the side of Craig Jones, but tonight, it's hard to say that this hasn't been his destiny to be at this point with this man.
Stay in your space. Drag.
You know, Craig was definitely looking forward to the possibility of a rematch. You know, nobody likes to take a loss. Nobody at this level likes a loss, and you always would like to redeem it. So that gives a little bit of extra gratitude on Craig's part if he can pull it off.
And talk about the rematch factor. I mean, what is it like for both of these guys? Like, obviously, they're familiar with one another, but how much can you take tactically into a rematch when you've spent some time on the mat?
Yeah, with guys this high a level, I think the takeaway is huge because there's only so many things that you feel different from one opponent to the next. You pretty much play your game. I mean, tonight, Craig Jones has just came in and the first 2 things he wanted to get, he went and got it. You know, with working with Gordon Ryan, short of, you know, losing position and getting caught with the sub at ADCC, you know, just up to that point, he was doing well. So he just understands that there's a moment he needs to avoid and then work around that. And I think with that knowledge from the previous match, he's able to get a lot further this time around.
Jones able to get free, disengages. Ryan can tend to play a bottom game with Jones, which is something that he really hasn't done much of this night. He's been the one that's been in top control and really dictating the pace. He's not necessarily purely defensive by any means, but he's more malleable in his approach here with Jones.
Yeah, Craig got a little wrist lock going there for a second.
It was interesting, a lot of Gordon's opponents tonight, at some point they would actually sit down and try to pull leg locks on him, pull him into a leg lock battle, which is interesting. And yeah, this is the first night, the first time where we've really seen Gordon really going for the legs himself too.
Keep to your space. Keep to your space.
Craig's playing the Z guard.
Yes. Your space. Your space.
Looking to, yep, get some elevation and go underneath there. Gordon very savvy, keeping that left leg bent, not allowing any gaps between his thigh and calf.
2:10 left.
Wow, this match has gone fast to me.
Yeah, it's been interesting the whole time.
Yeah, the very respectful audience tonight.
Your space. Your space. Yes.
Just one of those matches where it can change really quickly, really fast, and every second counts.
This match has gone by quickly for you, Scott. It's been an eternity for Craig Jones compared to his other performances here tonight.
Yeah.
Sometimes plan A doesn't work out.
1.5 minutes to work.
But if we go to overtime here, if this goes another 90 seconds, I mean, that's when cardio really may pay dividends for Craig Jones. But right now, he needs to be defensive.
Kimura. Gordon has a Kimura up top, slipped into it. Oh,
Jones able to get free. Nice bit of action here. Got to thank all of our sponsors once again. Brass Knuckles, the newest to jump aboard the EBI train. Appreciate their support. Visit them. Brass Knuckles, proud sponsor of the Eddie Bravo Invitational. Back to that Z-guard approach for Craig Jones. Less than a minute remains here in regulation.
Yeah, Denny Procopo is calling out the Kimura attempt. Gordon Ryan.
It's like instead of playing head and feet, he's playing arms and feet with the idea that Craig, to avoid the Kimura, might straighten his body out, making it easier to attack the legs.
Craig's back up. Craig's grip.
Your space. Your space.
20 seconds remains in regulation. Gordon Ryan headed into his 4th overtime of his EBI career. All of his overtime matches have ended in submission. We'll see if he can keep that perfect finish rate and record intact. Coin flip. Looks like Gordon Ryan is deferring to Craig Jones. Jones is going to go on offense first, and he elects to take the back of the king. That's something we've seen all night, too. Gordon Ryan, when he is put in overtime, he likes to be on defense first. He likes to have that, I think, bar set so he knows exactly what he needs to do.
Oh, Craig's got the body triangle in. Oh, had to switch it. Still doing a great job of keeping the bottom hook engaged.
That's out there.
Jones tried to roll through it, but Ryan able to get free. Quick escape there by the champion, Gordon Ryan.
Good time so far for Gordon.
Bottom of the first overtime now, if Gordon Ryan is able to pull off a submission, it's a wrap. He'll be a 4-time EBI champion, successfully defending his absolute crown. Body triangle here for the king.
Yeah, he slips that in automatically, and he gets so much power and control out of it. Especially when you're talking about escape times. It's such a great opening move.
Yeah, it's tough that those big legs around you like that. Everybody's had a really tough time getting out of his body triangle. Rear naked choke is almost sunk in there. Little jaw.
Keep working, Craig.
Jones staying composed, able to weather the storm.
Keep working, keep working.
Gary Tonin has made a career of submitting guys in overtime from the back. Gordon Ryan, no stranger to that himself. These Danaher Death Squad guys seem to have a game plan that they put in to play and do so quite perfectly. This, your final of EBI 14, the champion, Gordon the King Ryan, on the back of Craig Jones, TJ DeSantis, Eric Cruz, Scott Ross, On It Academy, Austin, Texas.
Craig's given up a lot of time so far.
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
And Craig does need to be defensive here because if he gets overzealous and is submitted, it's over. It's a wrap. And better to give up time than a limb.
Exactly.
Or his neck.
Yeah, the trouble here, too, with trying to scramble out and turn is a good chance of getting a rib injury, too, because the body lock is in and you turn one way, your rib cage is facing another. You got to be careful.
Ryan now trying to get that left arm underneath the chin once again.
The short choke.
Now,
Stay super focused.
Craig would well, he wanted to keep his head on the mat and try to turn perpendicular.
Jones now trying to reach up and grab the head of Ryan. Is that to break the posture?
It's just to keep him from sinking any choking arms in. Helps to prevent the penetration of the arm under the throat. It's been working for several competitors actually throughout the night.
Let's block to the left and block the full with the left leg.
Oh, triangle's open.
Oh, armbar there. See if he can use that.
Oh, it looks like he's almost out.
Oh, beautifully.
That's out.
Yep.
Now he's out.
Yep. Wow.
Nice adjustment for Gordon Ryan to hold on to it for a little while longer, but Jones able to get free, and because of that, we are headed to the top of the second overtime. Jones stays on his approach of taking the back of Ryan.
Yeah, he told me this morning, I was talking to him before the tournament started, and he said he'll only take the back because some people let you break their arm so they can escape.
I remember Kyle Griffin.
Oh, he pulled it back in. Yes.
He's got it.
Trying to make something happen.
He's got to tap. Gordon is not tapping. Gordon will not tap. He's corkscrew.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God. And that's exactly what he said would happen.
But the question is
damage?
Ryan hurt?
How much damage did that arm take?
Yeah, he took some damage.
And given that, if he makes it to a third overtime, will he start in spiderweb now and try to capitalize him? Let's see.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what champions are made of.
And the crowd goes wild.
As they should. What drama we have here in Austin.
Now he's got to split the room in half. Left side, right side.
Bottom of the second overtime. Gordon Ryan just went through literal hell with his arm. We talk about the injury. Can he maintain control? Is that arm damaged enough to where he won't enjoy the same sort of strength that he had in the bottom of the first overtime?
Yeah, Craig Jones went through about 3 different variations on trying to finish that arm. I mean, had it fully locked out, I'm sure there was at least a pop or 2, maybe 3, but Gordon Ryan knows, hey, that's just one arm. I got another arm, 2 legs, and my neck. I'm still here.
And he's got a significant lead in terms of escape time.
I mean, really, for Craig Jones, it's all going to come down to that third overtime if he gets there. But still, Gordon Ryan, very dangerous.
Wrist lock.
You know, I'm trying to look at the face here of Gordon Ryan, too, to see where he's at mentally, and he's ice cold. He looks just like he normally does.
It would be interesting if Craig could pull a submission from this position.
Of course, that would be an escape, though.
Yeah. But taking advantage of the already damaged arm.
When we talk about that time, if Gordon Ryan is injured, maybe he doesn't sell out for a submission. Maybe he just holds on as long as he can and win that way.
Yeah, that could be the option. You know, it's actually a lot more conservative. It's easier to just hold somebody than to try to finish them.
I mean, we talk about the game plan and strategy of the Danaher Death Squad. Game plans and strategy is great, but what champions are made of is adjusting.
Craig's having fun the whole time. He's laughing. Ooh,
Ryan in on that choke.
Yeah, that's deep. Yep.
There it is! Gordon Ryan remains the absolute champion. Unbelievable.
Gordon Ryan getting it done. Submission and overtime, that record intact, and he remains the absolute champion. Let's make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner via submission in overtime. And still absolute champion, he is Gordon the King Ryan.
All right. And there you go at the end. There was that nice armbar attempt where Craig almost pulled it off. It was tight, and he's trying to pull it over his hip to get the lock, but Gordon rotates his wrist. But then that was a great job that Craig Jones did chasing it. And Gordon had to have taken some damage in there.
Yeah, he's wincing, definitely. Good wrist control there.
He just did not want to. He just did not want to tap.
Yeah, there it goes a little more. He finally, whoa, gets through the corkscrew.
Oh, nice. And then when it was his turn, there Gordon Ryan is with, he's rolling him over, and in that transition, that's when he slipped it underneath.
Yeah, gets the choking arm through.
Done.
With the good.
All right, I'm here with the winner and still champion, still the king, Gordon Ryan. It's been a heck of a year for you, sir, and that was a heck of a fight with Craig Jones. How's your arm feeling?
Fucking Australians. Very tight arm bar, but that's one of the positions we drill constantly. So, but you know, it was definitely tight, and he did a good job of positioning his leg. Stretch a little bit, pop. I'm not really sure. I didn't feel anything too crazy. We'll see how it feels tomorrow, and then I'll really know for sure.
Sum this year up for me. I mean, it started here at EBI in March at EBI 11. You were victorious there. Tonight, you capture your 4th EBI title. You're victorious at Abu Dhabi. This has to be one of the best years of your 22 years on this planet.
Yeah, you know, it's been great. 2016 was awesome for me, and then we came in strong into 2017, and I couldn't ask for a better year. And hopefully next weekend when I fight Yuri Samoa's at Kasai Grappling in New York, we could end the year with that, and then go into 2018.
You showed up here, the 20-year-old Iron Dragon. You end 2017, the 22-year-old King, 4-time EBI champion. What's next for you here at the Eddie Bravo Invitational?
Whatever you guys want. I heard someone specifically ask Eddie Bravo to have a slap fighting, a combat jiu-jitsu super fight with me. So I'll be more than happy to do that. But whatever you guys ask for.
Awesome. You want that? You want Gordon Ryan in combat jiu-jitsu? I think they co-sign. Gordon, appreciate it. Congratulations. There he is, the King, Gordon Ryan, victorious here at EBI.